Welcome to the Inspired Impact Podcast, where dedicated female professionals share how they inspire impact every day. Authentic stories, passionate commitment, lives transformed. I'm your host, Judy Carlson. Welcome to today's episode of the Inspired Impact Podcast. I have such a very special guest with me today. She's a high school senior, and she has lived more life than many of us will ever live. I can't wait for you to meet her. Tevia Reading, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is so fun to have a younger person on my podcast. But you have an amazing story, and I can't wait for our listeners to hear more about it. So, let's get started. Tell me about your journey, Tevia.
I'm one of 6. I have 5 siblings. I have 3 older sisters and 2 younger brothers. And at the age of 11, my father passed away. So now it's just all of us and my mom. And yeah, just going through high school and yeah.
So you have such an interesting story about the names of your mom and dad and the 6 children. So tell us about that.
Yes, so we all actually start with T. So my dad is Tony, my mom's Tania, and then it's Tatum, Tabitha, Talia, Tevia, me, TJ, and Tag.
Okay, so 4 girls first and then 2 boys.
Yes.
And you've had a tragedy in your lives with your dad passing away unexpectedly when you were 11, which is what, about 6 years ago?
Yes.
So share a little bit about how that's impacted the 7 of you. I mean, I can't even imagine your mom having 6 kids and losing her husband and you losing your dad.
Yeah, well, we've all kind of become each other's best friends, and we all just are very close to each other. And so with that, when that happened, we all just really rooted in each other and kind of got through it all together. And we all have had, there's good days and bad days always, but we'll always be able to talk to each other and go through it. And I guess having that many people has been really good and getting through it and just going along.
So I'm imagining now that it's 6 years, you've been able to see sort of the changes, the ways that you've been able to communicate, the ways that your siblings and your mom have dealt with grief. What can you share about what you've learned in the last 6 years, just about some of those real life situations?
Yeah. So, for me, this is kind of a sidetrack, but I went to Mozambique and served in an orphanage. And when I was there, we had a translator, and he kind of talked to the kids and kind of shared part of my story, and just kind of seeing the kids see how I related to them, and how in a way I was orphaned in a way too. And so not having a parent, but so with that, I've found different ways to connect with different people, and I think it's really special. And most people, I mean, if you haven't really experienced a loss, you don't grasp it necessarily all the same. So just finding we've been through when I was right after, me and my brothers went to a grief camp, and it's called Experience Camp, and it's a really cool camp because all the kids and all the counselors have lost somebody important in their lives. And so it's just kind of a week, and you all go through it, and there's days where we talk, and then we're all having fun, and so it's just been like going through all the different things, and it's really like changed our life from going from everything to losing somebody. But I think that it's really special in everything that we've changed and everything that we've like grown up and lived, and it's like impacted all of us in different ways and kind of created us all in our own story.
Wow. That's just so impactful and so inspiring, Tevia. Wow. So you have three older sisters and then you, and um, were you the only one that went to Mozambique? And
Yes.
how did that come about in your life?
Yes. So we were sitting in church one Sunday, and he, our pastor, just brought it up and was like, "Hey, we have a team going to Mozambique, and we'd love like go fill out this and see if you can be a volunteer if it's really calling you." And I was sitting there and I was bugging my mom the rest of church, and I was like, "I need to go. I want to go. Like I need to do that." And it was very on and off. I was going and then not going. And then finally at the last minute, I was going. And so I've always had a love for kids and a love for like doing work for God. And so like when I was there, I didn't really know what we were going to do, but we did a women's conference and a lot in the orphanage. And like the second I like stepped into the orphanage, I just like felt so I was just so excited. All the kids like were so curious about us, and slowly we like created a bond in the 12 days that I was there. And like it's just been like the most exciting part of my life. And I just like my future is hopefully to become a teacher and then go teach somewhere abroad, like in somewhere where they are less fortunate, and to help and serve them.
Wow, amazing how mature your thinking is already and what your life might look like from age 17 on, right?
Yeah.
Now, what about the other people that went with you to Mozambique? What were their age ranges and did you bond with them? And how has that transpired over the past few years?
Yeah. So I went with, I think our group was 12, and most of them were adults. There was a couple in their 20s, and then it was me and three other girls, same age.
Okay.
And so we all got really close and had a really fun time because like the older people would kind of go do things with like the women, and or the men would go kind of build things and help the pastor with his stuff. And then we would always be kind of working with the kids and doing little crafts or just finding a way, because there was a language barrier. So just finding new ways to try to communicate with each other and um, play games, do crafts, like all the things. And at the end, it was really special. One of the kids prayed over me because like we got into little groups, and one of the kids prayed over me, and I like recorded it because I couldn't understand it. So I wanted to get it translated, and I got it translated, and it was just like super inspiring, and like it was just crazy. It was so special. And like I think he was like 9, and like just for a 9-year-old to say those things was crazy.
Wow, what an inspiring gift you received from the Lord that day.
Yes.
And you can carry it with you forever because you recorded it.
Yes, and
That
I
was,
got it translated, so now I know what it actually means.
wow.
Yeah.
So the other three girls, are they in your school or in your church or in Colorado or
Yeah, we all go to the same church, so we still talk to each other all the time and see each other every Sunday. So it's
okay.
really cool. Yeah.
And so you're a senior in high school, and you're involved in a lot of things. Tell us a little bit about what it's like to be a senior in your high school.
Yeah. Well, actually student body president, so that's been super fun. I've gotten to work with like all the teachers, bunch of students, and like creating different things for the school. Like we take on planning Wish Week, which is a fundraiser for the Make a Wish Foundation. So we get a kid to sponsor for a week, and we work like really hard to raise money and make it just like the best week ever for her. This year it's a girl. So we're transforming our school into whatever their wish is. And this year hers is to be a a volcano scientist. And
Oh,
so the whole school is turning into like Hawaii and under the sea. And like our gym becomes like we get a huge stage, we like fulfill her wish. And it's just like that's been like one of the really inspiring things also throughout high school is to be a part of that because I've been in student leadership for 4 years. And so I've always kind of gotten to be on the inside and just like seeing the family's impact and like it just is like beyond. And I just love to watch that feeling come to life and watch always the kid just like explode with all the emotions and they're so happy and they get to put aside all the sad and hard things going on and all they can think about is like what's going on. So it's super special and they always come back and they always say it was the best time of their life and so that's
wow.
been really cool.
So when is the day for your girl this year?
Yeah, so it's the first week of February. So it's the 3rd through the 7th. So we take the whole week and there's different events each day to like we get students from all the schools like elementary up to high school to like come participate and it's like blown up. We're nationally recognized like as the number one fundraising school. So it's really cool to be a part of.
So there's media there, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And so getting the whole school to participate, how do you achieve that?
I just think everybody sees the impact and everybody is so excited. Like this week is talked about all year before you're in high school. Like if you talk to the middle schoolers, they're like, I can't wait for Wish Week. Like it's kind of given itself its own big name.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think everybody just kind of brings the excitement themselves. And like by us transforming the school, everybody comes in that Monday and it's like it's Wish Week. Like the whole energy in the school is just so happy and excited. And yeah,
Wow.
it's really special.
How did you choose or find the person, the girl for this year?
So we're kind of just given a kid. We work with a lady from Make a Wish, and she knows how our school is, and so there's like she wants a family that's a little bit more outgoing, like that's okay with being on a front stage with as many people as there are, and so we kind of just get paired with whatever comes to us, and so we just make it work and bring it to life.
So do you get to know the girl beforehand, or do you first meet her February 3rd, or how does that work?
Yeah, so I actually December 5th, I got to meet her with some of the other kids in leadership and she's so precious. She's like the most out she's 5, so she's so outgoing, she's so excited like it is so she's so cute to watch and she has congestional heart disease. So like on her right side. So her heart is a little bit on her right side doesn't function as normally. So
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. So student body president, there's a few other things that you're part of in your high school. Tell us about
Yes.
another one.
I play a couple sports. I play field hockey and tennis. And
Okay.
field hockey was in the fall, it just ended, and tennis is coming up in the spring. So that's been really fun. I love field hockey and love to keep playing it.
How did you come to love field hockey?
So my mom's rule was always that we had to have a sport in high school. She's like, I don't care what you play. I just want you to be active. It's a good way to meet people. Just have something to do instead of just coming home after school. And my sister's sophomore year, she like couldn't find something and then randomly came across field hockey. And so she played, and then my other sister played. And then when I came in, I've just watched them for a couple years. So then I decided to play, and it was like the best thing ever.
So what are you going to be able to do in field hockey once you graduate from high school?
I don't know. I'm hoping to figure something out because it's really fun and I love to play it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, okay, what else? Your other things in high school that you participate in, or what you're going to do after high school.
Yeah, so I'm also enrolled in a cosmetology program. So I'm getting my cosmetology license upon graduating. And so it's been a 2-year program, and I'm going into the second semester of my second year. So it's been really cool. I've gotten to do a lot of my friends' hair, cut a bunch of people's hair, learn nails, all things skin. So it's been really cool, and it's made high school just something more to look forward to than just the normal school curriculum, and beauty is always needed, and so it's really fun to know.
So, if you're in your second semester of your second year of your cosmetology program, that means sometime in your first or second year in high school, you identified that that's something that you wanted to do. So, how did that process go?
Yeah, so my sister actually did it first, and then they started the program her senior years, and it's 2 years, so she didn't get to finish it. And then I was kind of hesitant on doing it. I was like, I don't know. And then my mom was like, just sign up anyway. Like, it might be something you really enjoy and you really want to do. So then I went through with it, and I'm really glad that she made me because it's been a really fun just experience outside of just being in the normal 7 classes of, and just something to look forward to. And I can always, people talk about their hair and then they are like, oh yeah, Tevia can do it. Like, let's just go to the salon. And it's like a running salon. So we get to take clients. And so it's been really cool.
Where is the salon?
It's at Highlands Ranch High School. So just in Highlands Ranch.
Okay, so then you just transport over there
Yeah. So
and
half my days at Highlands Ranch, and then the second half of my days at Vista.
okay. So when you graduate in the spring, coming up this year, how are you feeling about
Yes.
graduation and
I'm,
graduating?
I'm super excited. High school's been a lot of fun, but I'm excited to see what's next.
So what do you think might be next with all of these things that you have on that you can already accomplish at such a young age?
I really want to be a teacher, like I said earlier, and so
Mhm.
definitely going to a college and getting my degree in education and learning to teach somewhere, and hopefully one day be able to go like overseas or somewhere here and just teach somewhere that is a little bit more less fortunate, that I can help out in different ways.
So where would you go to school, do you think? Or do you already know?
Not yet. I've applied to schools, but we start here in January, so
Oh,
coming
coming
up.
up.
Yes.
All right. And in state, out of state, both?
Probably I've applied both, so we'll see. Probably out of state is kind of what I'm hoping, but we'll see.
So what about your three older sisters? What have they done since they graduated from high school?
Yeah, so my oldest sister Tatum, she graduated last year. She's a criminal justice major, and she's working in a courthouse with like helping the kids that are have like community service hours, like get them checked off. And then she works for something else, I don't remember. But Tabitha is still in college. She's a fashion design major, so she's all things fashion and beauty too. And
Hmm.
Talia plays lacrosse at Northwestern University.
Wow. On a scholarship or?
Yes.
Wow. And do they all come home at the holidays?
Yeah, they're all home right now, so it's been
Okay.
fun to hang out with them.
Wow, that is so cool. And then your younger brothers are not, they're just a year younger than you and 2 years younger than you.
Yeah. So TJ's a sophomore and Tag's a freshman.
Okay. Do they
Yeah.
look up to you or
Yeah, I think so.
that'll be different not having anybody at their high
Yeah.
school next year?
Yeah.
Um, and now you were 11 when your dad passed away, but he inspired you in a lot of ways. Talk about his impact on your life.
Yeah, so um he was very like he loved to serve, he loved to um help people, and that's kind of where I get my passion from, and just like his genuine concern for people. And I feel like he had like the biggest heart for service, and so part of my desire is to like continue his legacy by doing all that and through service and love and care.
In what ways did he do that that you were part of while he was alive?
Yeah, he would do anything from just being in the car to give the shirt off his back to somebody who needed it, or he would talk to people, spread the gospel. Um, yeah, he was really just a light in
A
many
light.
different ways.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, he doesn't realize all of the um, things that he's passed on to his
Yeah.
children in his life and in his passing. Wow. Such a legacy that he's leaving. And tell me how your mom has managed with by herself with six young children. It sounds like she's always been your encourager.
Yeah, she is definitely all of our number one cheerleader. She'll go out of her way to do anything for us. She puts our kids before anything else. She's really inspiring too, and just wants to see us all succeed. And she always says, like, when we're happy, she's happy. So, yeah.
Wow. And in your home now is you and your two younger brothers.
Yes.
So how's that felt as your sisters have moved away from the home? How has that changed, the conversation, the dynamics in your home?
I mean, I just think it's gotten less busy, but at the same time, it's still equally as busy with all of us in and out all the time. Um, yeah, I've always been used to always running to carpools or doing anything like that. So, um, probably, I mean, it's definitely different. It's been a while, so I'm kind of
Mm,
just used to it at this point. But
hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, it'll be different for your brothers, I'm sure, when you leave.
yeah, it's been them too.
Yeah, it's the difference between boys and girls is so much fun.
Yeah.
What sports are your brothers involved in school?
So TJ plays tennis and lacrosse, and then Tag plays soccer and basketball.
Okay. So you're
Yeah.
running off to watch them as well, I'm sure.
Yes, it's very fun to watch them.
Yeah, for sure. Well, do you have any thoughts, final thing, comments that you'd like to make, just to inspire our listeners even more than and then I've already been inspired, and I know they will too, for such a young woman who's got such a bright future because of such great tragedy, but wonderful family. I mean, I don't know. I've never met anybody like you before. So I'm grateful our paths have crossed. And if
Yes,
there's
me
any
too.
encouragement or thoughts or things you want to leave our listeners with today.
Um, I probably just like keep looking ahead, and even if it's like a hard day or something going on, like it doesn't necessarily get better, but you find different things and different people cross your path or different things come into your life, and it just kind of your story begins to build off of it.
Mm,
So,
yeah, I love that. Your story is 17 years old with a major tragedy in there, and yet you're so young and you've got the world by the tail, and your testimony, your faith, your story, it's going to continue to build, and you're going to change a lot of lives because of who you are, Tevia. So I'm
well, thank
grateful.
you.
You bet. Well, thanks for your time today. And
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks so much for joining us for the Inspired Impact podcast. To listen to past episodes, please visit theinspiredimpactpodcast.com.